Welcome back, Toddler Tribe. We're here. It's December. It is the month where things get the most exciting and the most crazy in homes and in schools. So, today I want to talk about the idea of wanting versus needing. I have had holiday episodes in the past about the idea that having kids go through and purge, sort, donate toys or clothes, things that they just don't need anymore, is a really special activity to teach the idea of I have enough. I have more than enough. Yes, more is showing up soon, but I actually don't need more. I have enough. So let's make some space for what's coming next and turn my have enough into somebody else's need. The idea that other people exist in the world is not an easy concept for your toddlers and your preschoolers. It's not. I know that sounds wild, doesn't it? Well, of course, they know other people exist, Cara. They know their teachers. They know everyone when we go out to the grocery store. They know, like, our barista when we're out on Saturday for coffee. Yes, they know people exist. But the idea that they can perceive that other people see the world differently than they do, feel the world differently than they do, experience the world differently than they do. Nope, not yet. You are their guide to teach them, and it's all the neuroscience, right? Won't go down that road, but you're their guide to teach and model for them that the world consists of lots of different people who live lots of different ways. And some of them have a lot of their basic needs met, and some of them don't. Because the only frame of reference they have for what it's like to be a 3-year-old is their current experience. That's it. That's all I have. You open the doors. You open the conversations to help them understand that not everybody in the world lives like they do, whatever that is. So, it's so important to have these need versus want conversations with your kids. When my girls were little, we had it all the time in low stakes moments. And you know that my collaborative discipline model works in the low stakes moments far more than it works in the high stakes moments. And it needs to, because that's where true connection and learning can happen. So when we were at the grocery store, and I always come from my frame of reference first, right? We don't want to put things on our kids before they've seen us model it for ourselves. I would say out kind of to them, but mostly just kind of out loud to the aisle, I guess. Look, we need to buy toilet paper today. Okay, that's a need. Yes? I think we can all agree that's not a want, it's a need. We need to buy toilet paper today. That is something that we need in order to run our household. I see lots of choices. Which one of these choices do I want? Can you hear the differentiation there? When we agreed that something is a need, now we have the freedom to assign preference to what we choose. Maybe I wanted to get the biggest package there was because it was essentially the least expensive per roll. Maybe I didn't care about price, but instead I care about softness, right? Now we're really getting into our preferences. And that's what want is. Want is a desire, a preference to get a specific outcome. Need is a non negotiable. You need to wear shoes. Shoes cover your feet and keep them safe while you walk in the snow. Ooh, I have a good story. I love this one. Because sometimes to really bring home this concept and do one of my favorite skill sets, owning your own choices and experiencing natural consequences, you've got to let them be right for a minute until they figure out, oh, that really wasn't a want, it was a need. So we were headed to a wedding, and my kids, it was not snow, it was a summer wedding, and we'd just been running around like crazy humans trying to get out the door, get in the car, drive to this wedding. That was probably an hour and a half away. And they were old enough that when we got in the car, I said, does everybody have everything? Yes. Everybody have, I forget the things they were bringing to do just in case they needed something to do. Yes. Everyone have shoes on, right? I would go through the whole list of things that everybody needs to have. Everyone have shoes? Yes. Turns out one of my little humans did not. She did not have shoes. And we didn't realize this until halfway to the wedding. We happened to be, remember, I live in southern Vermont. So, like, the option to just buy things is not always available very closely. We happened to be near a mall, the only one in our part of the state, actually. So my husband and I took some deep breaths, said some mutterings. I asked this question. I got an answer. It was not accurate. We get in. The only pair that we can find for this kiddo that has that fits her shoe size has like the tiniest little heel on the back. Okay, that's it. I mean, it wasn't crazy. It wasn't stiletto style, but it was elevated for sure. And that's it. We are out of the realm of want. I don't want these, she said. Well, that is disappointing, but you need them. You cannot walk into a church barefoot. It is a requirement and a basic need that you have shoes on your feet. These are the only pair that fit. This is what you have to wear. So we get to this wedding. She doesn't put them on in the car, and I don't blame her. It's fine, right? We get there. We're about to get out and go into the church, and she puts these shoes on, and she starts walking. And I say that in like, I don't even know what she was doing. I wasn't really walking as much as she looked like she was on the moon, and like one foot was trying and she'd lose her balance and the other foot was trying. And she said, I hate these shoes. How do people walk in high heels? Which of course made it a very funny moment. She suffered through. She didn't have to wear them at the reception. That was, I don't even know what we paid for those shoes, but she wore them for a church service. But what happened next? When all of it was done, the problem was solved, the chaos was over, the funny moment passed, the wedding was over, I sat her down and we had a conversation. I said, did you understand the difference between needing something and wanting it? And she didn't really. She was not a toddler anymore, but she's still like, these are conversations we still need to have. And so in her own world, then, we started to pull some examples of things that she said she needed, but she really only wanted. And it was a great foundational conversation to have because as she got a little bit older and came to me at, I think, 10 years old and said, I need that iPod touch that everybody else has. I didn't have to have these foundational moments with her. I was able to simply say, oh, that's a want. That's not a need. It's okay that you want it. And you and I can talk about how you might get that in your life. I'm not buying it for you, but we can talk about how you might get that want met. Make a plan, take some action. But please know it's a want. It's not a need. This time of year is so valuable for having those teeny tiny conversations in really calm moments and just pointing out. Start with you. When you go for coffee on Saturday, say things out loud like, oh, I really wanted that pumpkin maple muffin, but I know I don't need it, so I decided not to. Sprinkle them in so that when it's time to have those conversations with your littles, you can. All right. You know what to do. Stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.